After 7 excruciating years, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Gearbox has left a package at my doorstep that your girl Snacksa has long been waiting for. I'm talking high octane, mom give me 1 more hour please, my friends are staying up, they are going to out-level me type of package. I missed getting yelled at by my friends for taking too long sitting in my menu looking at my gear.
Get the fuck out of your menu, idiot. I'm so tired.
And you could bet your sweet ass I miss those poop jokes. And with the new addition of Ellie boob physics, oh my God, this game has it all. Gearbox has delivered on everything we have wanted, and you don't know how happy I am to know that they're back to dealing us their drugs. That drug is our insatiable thirst of power. Once you use your action skills and see your first beam of orange light on the ground, it's over. Your daily quota of Danimals and enemas cease to exist. But what if we dropped all that we loved and did a let's play on the pre-sequel? That's right, boys, this channel is now a let's play channel. Let's go! Today, we will answer a question no sane person has ever asked. Can you beat Borderlands 3 with only white gear and 0 skill points? Nobody has ever asked this question before because without a doubt, doing so would be equivalent to watching Spy Kids 3 in 3D without the 3D glasses. But listen up, you little turd suckers. In order to make this possible, we need to throw down a few rules. Rule 1, only common gear can be used and nothing else. Artifacts are not to be used either, as they give you a free skill point. Also, because I hate my life and you guys enjoy my pain, I won't be using any action skills. Rule 2, vehicle and mounted weapons are allowed. Rule 3, at one point in the game you are forced to use a purple weapon. That will be the only higher tier rarity excluded from this challenge, as I won't kill anyone with it. And rule 4, you boys better go grab your Go-Gurts and Pokemon blankies, because this run will be leagues harder than my other Borderlands runs. Let's secure this grain, gentlemen. Although my skill points and action skills are basically null, picking our character is still vital to our success. Everyone and their cat's testicle tumor is destroying their meats and fingering their earlobes to Flack the Beastmaster. So I decided to go with Zane, because he deserves a chance too. After picking Flack, I was greeted by a cute little robot once again, and even though Claptrap got a new voice actor, he was still so damn adorable. He has that please fuck me personality, even though, I mean, I'm not really sure how that would work. I mean, I guess he could put his USB cord in between my butt. It was seriously good to see him back. Before we continue, I will tell you all now that I have beat the game, but fortunately have not used my Guardian tokens, and won't be using them until I'm done with these challenges. These would make the runs a little easier, so keeping them off is a must. I named myself after a guy with a super cool and totally true username, like seriously, wow. That is such a great fucking username, and proceeded to grind my ass cheeks along a sanding belt because they have now implemented sliding in Borderlands 3. Unfortunately, our boy Claptrap got outplayed, but it's okay because I proceeded to dance with every single one of those enemies like it was prom night. This was when I got my first smasher, and I'll tell you now, I've been sitting here limp nippled for the past 10 years. Nothing has brought me close to being erect as this thing has. With the power of all the plum and squirt emojis on this planet now in my hands, I blasted everyone in sight, and even that joke of a boss Shiv got what was coming for him. My next step was to find the Sun Smasher Chief and bring him back to the Crimson Dick Turd HQ. But before we do that, let's debrief this operation. Operation Daddy Needs a New Pair of Shoes was now a go. With Masher's and Jacob's weapons actually being amazing in this game, there was only one obvious outcome. After whipping out the old cowboy movies, your boy had done enough research to find out that Jacob's weapons had damage spicier than my asshole after Taco Tuesday. Also, so do Torg shotguns. I mean, nothing does more damage than these sweet little things. We had Jacobs for the critical hit add clear and my asshole feels so damn good, and Torg for the spicy boss damage. So the plan is to dilly-dally rootin' tootin' our way to all the vaults, hitting the baddies with my big iron, which duh means revolver for all you kids out there that haven't graduated the first grade, and make sure that I have at least a Torg shotgun and Masher by the end of the game. This all also had to be done before 8 p.m. because that is when my mom said I had to go home and finish my homework. So let's get back to work. I pushed forward, making my way to find this so-called Sun Chief, and I'm not gonna lie, my ass got toasted a bit. Eventually though, I was able to make my way through and realize that the Sun Chief had those double pepperoni nipples. With Vaughn's nipples and a little bit of dialogue, we had a Borderlands 3 Chapter 2 pizza. With Vaughn saved, it was time to meet up with yours truly. What can I say? Ellie still had a diaper booty and she was looking, as the young boys say nowadays, dummy thick. I helped Ellie get her catch a ride up and running, and before I could skedaddle anymore, I needed to get my boy Claptrap something important, or this run may as well be over. I got Claptrap the one thing he needed most, and then it was time to go deal with Mouthpiece. God cringed Tyreen tried swaying me with her terrible jokes, and it took me about 15 minutes to kill a badass trooper. This shit was basically a raid boss from WoW. But it's okay, because at the moment, my weapons were doo-doo caca. And remember, daddy needs a new pair of shoes. A couple of strawberry banana Burger King smoothies later, and a lot of dying, I got to Mouthpiece and gave him my mouthpiece. Wow, I really enjoy tickling this dude's asshole with my common Swiffer wet jet. This is fucking yes, dude, I love this. And so far, the beginning of this run wasn't going too bad. With the star map now in my possession, it was time to continue forward and bring it to Lilith. Not a single side quest had been completed so far, and all I gotta say is, Gearbox, you really know how to fondle my butt cheeks, don't you? It didn't take very long before I found Tanis to get this map deciphered, and I enjoyed clapping some butt cheeks. And then I found out that there was only one planet on this map. This planet had something I needed though. My sexy little leopard Ellie fortunately had been preparing a spaceship just for me, and in order to make it work, she needed some fuel. I went on my way running over poor souls for the pursuit of space travel and science, stole a nav chip with my Nerf guns, and now it was time for Senza to head to space. Unfortunately, Lilith had her siren powers taken, and then it was time to get this ship up and running. Your hot gamer girl Senzatv was now in space, and on the Sanctuary 3. We discussed Lilith losing her powers, and I enjoyed watching Claptrap get his salad tossed. It was now time for my first planet. I crash landed on Promethea, met with Lorelei, and holy Jesus, there it was. My nut couldn't be contained. My dick at this point was now adamantium, but it didn't take long for it to go limp again, because getting gangbanged over and over again for using trash gear isn't fun. But in my moment of pain was when I realized the most glorious thing I have ever laid my eyes upon. As the human population continues to evolve, so does Gearbox. God bless Gearbox's boners. After enjoying my KFC bucket of butt fuck, Lorelei and I came into contact with Reese. I knew right off the bat that I was going to like this guy. At this point was when I realized that a super hot model 10 out of 10 dime piece named side quest wanted to go out on a date with me. Fortunately, my PTSD from the last video was gone, so I guess yeah, sure, fine. This is a load of fucking bullshit. After 3 hours of some epic gaming, it was finally time to continue the story. I pushed forward, met with everyone's favorite weeb, Zero, and then him and I proceeded to elegantly, dare I say, collab on some Maliwan booty. We got to Giga Chad, and you know what? It wasn't too bad. Mainly because I was a little over leveled, and Zero is a straight up homie. Every time I got downed, Zero was there by my side, reviving me. God bless you. Oh my God, yes, Zero. I'm sucking your dick right off your pelvis. Giga Chad was dead, and I uploaded his nut to Reese's computer. Reese and his glorious facial commodities promised me the vault, but first, I needed the second piece of the vault key. The next plan of action was Athena. This place blew some fucking seriously stinky asshole bubbles. I mean, it was cool meeting up with Maya and seeing her Sith Lord Star Wars cosplay, but what wasn't cool was how all my guns were seriously outdated and I was getting my ass handed to me. And don't even get me started on General Dickhead. My white gear was merely just tickling his earlobes. Him just looking in my direction resulted in death. Even after a few side quests, I still got booty blasted. I was done getting my ass handed to me. With my Shinobi Alliance headband now on, it was time for me to start sweating. After 1 hour or so, I finally did it. I developed a tactic that helped with taking this turd down, and it felt damn good finally killing that blooming onion looking fuck. By the way, if you want to see all of my major boss fights, I'll put a link in the description below. General Taunt was now dead, and I was coming for that vault on Promethea. Before I could do so though, there was a vermin problem that had to be taken care of. Me and my Nerf guns brought pain to the sinners in the Skywell. Eventually, after some more fun, we pulled some Inspector Gadget John Brown type shit sneaking through a ventilation duct. So far, the run wasn't going too bad. It just took a millennium to kill my enemies, but I mean, I was feeling pretty good. Katagawa Ball, the next boss fight, was solely responsible for me having a stroke. My guns were doing so little damage that the thing actually Pokemon full restored itself back to full health, which resulted in me having a midlife crisis equivalent to that of a balding 30-year-old man. Alright? What? No, dude. What the actual fuck? After an excruciating 25 minutes, he was dead, and now the second vault piece was in my hand. Katagawa held the last piece, and he was on my hit list. My common gear and I stormed the Atlas HQ, and we gave those Maliwan soldiers the same thing that I gave to that truck stop toilet on 32nd and Taft Avenue. It seemed as though Zero was working as a Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell double agent, but that didn't stop me from karate sucking off a few ass cheeks. I played Earth Defense Force and spent a little too long infatuated by this NPC.
Wait for coming! Clancer!
It turns out that Zero wasn't a Tom Clancer after all, and it was finally time for my gear and I to face the next boss fight. This shit wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. It was just really goddamn annoying. It's basically the Jack fight from Borderlands 2, just mixed in with a bit of expired orange chicken you found in your fridge from 2 years ago. But being the Genghis Khan of gaming, you know I overcame. It was finally time to hit my first vault. Maya decided to accompany my Nerf guns and I on this first vault raid. I enjoyed watching as Maya phase locked a couple of ass cheeks and I took my time to finger them. Inside the vault, you're talking to the guy that's really good at video games and is kinda sorta cool. So you know straight up that I took a giant dookie on the Vault Guardian. Nah, I'm totally kidding. This thing was a really big freaking B word. Probably the biggest B word that I've ever... B word means bitch, by the way. I'm saying that this guy was a big fucking bitch. This boss fight was torture. Not only was I doing absolutely no damage, but I was getting one-shotted by his attacks. Fortunately, Maya was there and she could revive me every time I got downed, because if she wasn't, I was definitely going to be admitted into Arkham Asylum. This was when Gearbox really decided to fuck me. Maya and I killed the Vault Guardian and my ass cheeks were finally at ease. And then the game hits me with Maya turning into a fucking buck. Damn it, dude! Holding back my emotions at the eulogy was difficult, but shortly after, your boy got some great news. My nipple-inducing big game hunter, and I'm talking big game, was still alive. I shot my way down to the Apex Legends map and me and my Nerf guns were ready to take on anything in our way. In order to save Hammerlock, I first had to meet up with the OGs. This would then turn into 3.5 hours of me getting booty blasted because my weapons seriously fucking blow. But fortunately, I had Marcus from Gears of War by my side. In no time, I had the whole cast of Infinity War with me to save Hammerlock, and after about a year of me raging and finally getting to him... No. I've spent all this time. Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of Please. No. I saved the boy toy and returned him back to Jacob's. After a bit of platforming with my very first Thanos, I was rewarded with a sealed copy of GoldenEye for the N64, and I couldn't use it. My gear and level were starting to become obsolete, so you know what that means, boys. 2 words. Side quest. Another 2 words. Lost erection. Because I fucking hate doing these After the gloriousness that is side quest, it was time to meet the main man Clay. After dealing some business with him, he wanted me to take a ride to Fort Sunshine and save a homie of his that will be imperative to the story. I fought my second Thanos and listened to the ancient Jacob's Family mixtape. The mixtape spoke of a jewel so precious and jewelly that this jewel knew where the Jacob's Family jewel was on my radar, and once you look at that, it turned out to be a talking teddy bear that knew where to get the next vault piece. Getting this vault piece was going to be the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. Balex, a teddy bear, told me that his ex-girlfriend Genevieve had the next vault key piece, and he needed a weapon that could surpass Metal Gear to take her out. So he got a fucking Gundam. No, seriously. Balex turned into Kira Yamato from Gundam Seed, and holy shit, this hit me in my nostalgia boners. And holy fuck, I'm fighting his Gundam ex-girlfriend. Woo! This boss fight wasn't very hard as I had Balex helping quite a bit. It just involved a bit of jumping around and a little ass clenching, as always. With the second key fragment in hand, I returned to Sanctuary, and it turns out Genevieve took over the entire ship. But fortunately, Balex was there, and he saved the ship from the Trojan that was downloaded from LimeWire. The last key fragment was in my sights. After meeting with Clay's homies, I watched a hologram pound a few dudes into the nether, and then had a quick tussle with Mini Thanos. The final vault key piece was in my hands, and I gotta tell you that my weapons and I were not ready for what awaited us. Before we could hit that vault, Aurelia needed to be taken care of. After what felt like an excruciating millennium of clenching my ass, I finally killed her. But that was only the beginning of this suck fucking. Killing Grave Ward took about an additional 30 minutes or so, and at this point in the game with these bosses, I was convinced that my weapons did about as much damage as I had friends, which is only like 1. Unfortunately, Tannis got kidnapped by the Cringe Twins, which I didn't mind because I don't think many people like her, and then I went back to Sanctuary. We found out that they took her to Carnivora, a carnival hosted yearly, and you know your boy needed to get some of that funnel cake. Getting into the carnival was easy, and after a bit of meditation, I was able to clear out the enemies and find out that Carnivora was actually a fucking carnival on wheels. That shit was pretty freaking neato mosquito. This was probably the hardest boss fight in the entire game, and after taking that thing down, I was able to finally get inside and save my girl Tannis. Fighting the Agonizer 9000 was a giant pain in my thyroid. After countless and countless tries, the only possible thing I could do was outlevel this thing because my gear was not dishing out enough damage. I did what any Shinobi Alliance leader would do. After the grind was over and I gained a couple of levels, I did some save quit farming on sanctuary vending machines for a few better weapons, and now I was prepared. I had a 12 o'clock pounding appointment with the Agonizer 9000, and you could bet your sweet little fucking bum I wasn't going to be late. After that torturous fight, I found out that Tannis was actually a siren, so I resorted to invading Tannis's factory for a fusion reactor. Inside her factory, RN Jesus blessed me with the scent of his poopy asshole and gave me the one thing I needed in the hour I needed it most. I Uber Eats deliveried the reactor back to the homies and then discovered that Troy discovered the discovery of the Great Vault, and then we all discovered that it was on Pandora. Hearing this news, I grabbed my ice caramel macchiato and marched my ass straight to the Children of Cringe HQ. I pushed through with my rootin' tootin' snake in my boots shooter and made all the baddies cry. I enjoyed playing Ring Around the Rosie with Troy's very own personal Thanos, and then it was time for the main course meal. Troy's boss fight involved a lot of platforming and patience. Every shot of my revolver basically healed the man, but I pushed forward and knew that I needed to get this done. G Fuel injected straight into my bloodstream, and 30 minutes of me praying to my nipples that I wouldn't die to bullshit, it was finally done, and it felt so fucking good. Holy shit. So close. So close. Yeah. Whoa! Get shit out! Dickhead. We had one more boss to fudge pack before this shit was actually over. I sped my ass to Necro to fucking I have no idea how to pronounce that word and met with the very first Vault Hunter. He knew how to stop Tyrene, and that was what I needed to conclude this galactic Nerf gun quest. I pounded some Maliwan buttholes, killed a couple of Gundams, and also killed General Taunt's brother too, which really wasn't as big of a pain as I thought it would be. This Jacob's Masher is fucking... From here, all I had to do was spend hours of my life dying and respawning to get the final vault key. I watched Tyrene kill her own father, and now it was finally here. So close that I could smell it. Tentacle fucking... Yes! Oh, I love it, dude. Perfect final boss fight. My Nerf guns and I have made it to this moment, and we were ready to take on this monstrosity. I took that bitch to a nice dinner at Olive Garden, and after a bit of sitting in the corner and hoping to the dear Lord baby Jesus Christ that she didn't rip my butt cheeks in half, I finally did it. The challenge was now complete, and Borderlands 3 was completed with only common gear, no skill points, and no action skills. This run nearly gave me an aneurysm, but it's okay because I do this stuff so you cuties don't have to. This was most definitely one of my hardest runs, and this shit literally took 34 hours to complete. Just as a reference, I had more playtime on this run than I did my actual main character. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give that like button a Pokemon full restore. If you haven't already, follow me in my social medias and join the Diaper Booty Gang. The support recently honestly has left me speechless, and thank you guys so much for being perfect. I will definitely address this all soon, but in the meantime, you guys keep being cute little rascals, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's video. Oh my god,